Live. NFL players started to band together by position now in these specialty camps, and Lane Johnson will join us live from the O-Line Mastermind Summit. And the Cowboys will be on Hard Knocks for what, third time? Damien Woody takes you inside what that experience will be like for the boys and Big D. And the ESPYs are tomorrow night. Find out which NFL play is up for the best of the year. Hey, we're off and running on this Friday, and this is our crew, Ryan Clark, Damien Woody, and Jeff Darlington. I am Field Yates here from Bristol, and we start our day in New Orleans, where the Saints figure to have one of the more compelling quarterback competitions in the NFL this preseason. While Taysom Hill filled in for an injured Drew Brees last season, Jameis Winston is squarely in the mix for the job. Winston was re-signed to a one-year deal this offseason worth up to $12.5 million, much of which is available via incentives. Here's GM Mickey Loomis with more thoughts on the quarterbacks.
Well, first of all, look, he's going to be in a competition with Taysom. So we're really excited and high on Taysom, just as we are on Jameis, and it's going to be interesting to see how that, shakes out. Jameis has been fantastic. He's a smart football player. He's hardworking, just everything that you would want.
What's Taysom Hill's ultimate upside, Mickey, in your opinion?
He's a tremendous athlete, number one. He's got a tremendous arm. He's got tremendous speed, strength, and he's a smart football player as well, and he's got good leadership skills. So we're going to see how all this shakes out, but we're definitely high on Taysom.
All right, Ryan, you heard right there from Mickey Loomis. The team is high on Taysom Hill, but do you think he has a real shot at winning the starting quarterback job?
There's other kind of highs I can think of. This team is definitely high on Taysom Hill. Like you look at the loyalty that they've shown Taysom Hill throughout his career, right? He gets the deal before last season. He gets the 4 starts in the last season because Drew Brees is injured. But we saw teams kind of start to catch up with him, whether it was the Philadelphia Eagles late or the Denver Broncos when the Denver Broncos were starting a wide receiver at quarterback. So to me, if you are the New Orleans Saints, you want Jameis Winston to win this job. Jameis Winston is the better passer. Jameis Winston is a guy that we have seen excel at the quarterback position, even played in the Pro Bowl early on in his career. If Sean Payton can cut out the turnovers and now you get the explosive play that a guy like Jameis Winston can provide, I think that's the best opportunity for the Saints to be a winner this season.
Ryan, I can't remember who exactly said this. I think it was Brett Favre or someone. But it pertains to Jameis Winston and the 30 interceptions that he threw in his last year with the Bucs. And that is, you have to be really good to keep your job long enough to throw 30 interceptions. You've got to do everything pretty much perfect. And honestly, that's the thing I keep thinking about with Jameis. And I'll actually fast forward it to Tom Brady's season last year with the Bucs. There was a 4-game span in the middle of the season when Tom Brady threw 7 interceptions. By the way, you do the math, that would be 28 interceptions on the season if he kept up that average. And I think it had something to do with Bruce Arians' system. I know that there was some frustration with Brady at that point. Like, look, we're trying to basically score 14 points with one throw. And this is a situation that Jameis himself was in. Eventually, Brady was able to bring in more tailbacks, more tight ends because he's Tom Brady. But Jameis didn't have that cachet. I think in a different system, in Sean Payton's system, he could truly thrive. If he doesn't ultimately win the job in training camp, number one, I'll be surprised. But number two, his chance, I believe, will come during the regular season at some point. And I think that he's going to take full advantage of it.
Well, listen, everybody talked about the 30 interceptions that Jameis threw back in 2019. But what a lot of people neglect to say is Jameis also threw 30 touchdowns and over 5,000 yards. Clearly, Jameis Winston is a very talented quarterback. He's a guy that went number 1 overall. And so everyone talks about Taysom. You know, Taysom Hill is a Swiss Army knife. That's all fine and dandy, but at the end of the day, you still got to play the quarterback position. And between the two, Jameis Winston is a more talented passer of the football than Taysom Hill, and that's going to be the guy that's going to win this job.
RC, it feels like the Saints offense would have more margin for error with Jameis Winston because of his more complete throwing skill set. What do you believe the team's ceiling is if Jameis does win this starting job?
You know, that's the hard part, right? This is a totally different team. We don't truly know what this team looks like for 17 games without Drew Brees, what this offense will be. Obviously, it'll be Kamara heavy, or, you know, we'll see a lot of Michael Thomas, but you lose Cook. You also look at the defensive side, losing Janoris Jenkins, Trey Hendrickson, he moves on to Cincinnati. So this isn't the Saints team we've seen for the last 3 or 4 years. So Jameis Winston is going to have to add to this offense. He's going to have to add an element of pushing the ball down the field. And I believe that this team can be a winning team, but when you look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers being in your division, obviously the superior team with the superior roster, you think the Carolina Panthers should be better this year, and obviously the Atlanta Falcons changing coaches and probably dialing it back. But this is going to be a tough year for this team. We won't see the 13-4 season. I don't believe we see the 12-5 season. This is going to be a team, to me, that hovers a little bit above 500 unless Jameis Winston truly has an explosive impact on this offense to make up for some of the deficiencies we could see defensively.
By the way, Ryan, I love the expectations that feel to be set right now for the Saints, which are a little bit lower for a quarterback experience. Like, stepping into Drew Brees' shadow, into those footsteps, is going to be a difficult task. Who better than a quarterback with a lot of experience, a lot of upside, but very low expectations at this point in his career? I think this is actually set up really nicely for the Saints.
Now, before we move on to the ESPYs, shout out to Ryan Clark for already knowing 12-5, 13-4. As far as I'm concerned, it's a 16-game season until we actually get to this
100%
year.
true.
Well done by URC. Now we move forward to the 2021 ESPYs, which will take place tomorrow night at 8 Eastern on ABC and will be presented live from the rooftop at Pier 17 at the Seaport in New York City. There are plenty of NFL stars nominated for awards, starting with the best NFL player. You may have heard of this guy, Super Bowl 55 MVP Tom Brady, nominated after winning his seventh Lombardi Trophy. But Aaron Rodgers, 2020 NFL MVP. It's not all about the quarterbacks, though, as Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald, is up for the award, as is Offensive Player of the Year, Derrick Henry. RC, right back to you. If you were casting a vote, it's not too late to do exactly that. Who would you be voting for as the NFL Player of the Year?
Oh, so I get my vote. See, I thought we were just saying who we thought were going to win it. My vote's always Aaron Donald. Any NFL question, it's Aaron Donald. I think Aaron Donald is the best player in the league by far. I think he's the best player by position. If you ask anybody in the world who's the best defensive tackle in the world, it's Aaron Donald. You ask them who's second, they don't really care. You can't say that about quarterback. You can't say that about running back. No, Aaron Rodgers will probably win the award because unlike what you just said, Field, it is only about the quarterbacks in this world. But Aaron Donald is the best football player living.
Well, listen, I agree. I think Aaron Donald plays his position much better than any other player plays their position. But in this particular case, I'm going to go with Thomas Edward Brady, considering the fact that he moves on from New England after 20 years. Hey, it don't matter. It don't matter. Don't matter.
Oh my! You Patriot guys.
From New England from 20 years, and then go down to Tampa with no off season, new system, and all you do is go out there and win the Super Bowl. So yeah, listen, I understand the Aaron Donald talk. I'm with you. But I'm going with that Thomas Edward Brady cat down there in Tampa living his best life.
Doesn't Tom have enough trophies, Wood? Like, you Patriot guys have to stop jeffing and have to stop caping for Tom Brady to get all the awards. I mean, he's on all these different shows. He's talking crap about Aaron Rodgers on the golf course. Can somebody else win a trophy, Wood? It doesn't always have to be you guys and Thomas Brady.
Ryan, I have some bad news for you. Go ahead, Damien.
No, I'm just saying, Ryan feeling good. He out in Vegas, living his best life out there. Listen, don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me because I played with the Patriots. I'm just trying to show a little love here.
And Damien, as we all know.
He's not going to send you any free TB12 protein powder just because you said he should win this award.
Well, we all know the end result is that Tom is going to take this tiny morsel of disrespect that he's going to interpret from RC and turn it into about 6 more Super Bowl wins going forward. Hey, we're just getting started here on NFL Live. One of the league's best cornerbacks is looking for a new